Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. The Mighty Thor 372. This is from 1986, part of the year of Marvel's 25th anniversary. Cover here is actually by Sal Buscema, who does provide the art. It's actually pretty cool. I actually enjoy covers like this because here's New York City, and then you got a big Thor fighting. I think his name is Justice with the villain. I have a playlist. The villain from last month. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Okay, I have a playlist. I have started covering Thor, beginning with 337, Walter Simonson's very first issue, and I'm covering his entire run. So, all right, here we go. Without justice, there is no peace. Letters are by John Workman Jr., who is top three. Tom Rizikowski and Kevin Kline are the other two. In whatever order you want to put them, top three. So it doesn't matter. They're the three best here. So, until a few moments ago, Thug Thatcher was an ex-con with a thirst for vengeance, but he forgot the fifth commandment, and his forfeit was his life. Now something screams with a primal fury unmatched by the raging elements here. And all that's left of Thug is a thirst for death. Jane Foster must die. So Sal Buscema does the pencils, but he does not do the inks at this time. I mean, he was. Then it looks like he was just penciling only, and then he will end up going back to inking himself. Walter Simonson is the writer here. So, good splash page here. So, the pretty is mine. I will pay them all back. I will make them bleed. And then out loud. So those were his in the thought balloon. Suddenly and out loud he says, "Who's that?" "Kellen, of course. Come out wherever you are." And you can see him rush there. And I love this in silhouette here. "Thug, what happened to you?" "No," he screams. "Oh, geez, please don't kill me." And he says, "Fool, Thatcher is dead. Zaniac is alive. Zaniac never dies." And so you can see him grabbing him by the neck, and here now he grabs him by his shirt here. "You pilot the helicopter that freed Zaniac. You will take me to the pretty. Yes? Sure, Thug, sure. Anything you say." So, "Please don't kill me. Fool, Zaniac kills the pretties. And Jane Foster is pretty tonight." So they're going to get into the helicopter here. And here we go. Seconds later, and you can see here the scree. So I love the sound effects here. And so Chicago at last, but am I too late? So we got peace here that has landed here. I love instead of cursing. I just love it. "Craggett, that meddling vigilante with the hammer delayed me too long. The shell is empty. It's already taken a new form. And it's drawn first blood. Zaniac is loose again." And so behind him it says there, "Now there's a name I never thought to hear again. Speak clearly, stranger. What do you know of Zaniac?" And he's like, "Who?" And of course it is the mighty Thor here. "The name is Thor, stranger. My enchanted hammer Mjolnir has traced the energy trail of your vehicle from New York halfway across the country, only to find you standing over two dead mortals with the name of a killer on your lips. If you have slain these poor souls, no power of yours shall protect you from my wrath." And Peace goes, vigilante scum. Justice Peace only punishes the guilty. So this guy's like a Judge Dredd spoof, is kind of what he is. So your interference has robbed me of my lawful prey and condemned a world to destruction. The sentence is death, says Peace. So Thor throws the hammer at him and says, you may be judge, jury, and executioner in some far realm, but in this land, 'tis the hammer of Thor strikes in the name of justice. I love that. This looks awesome. Now talk and talk quickly. Who are you and how came you here to this unhappy house, says Thor as Mjolnir returns to him. A justice is answerable to no one but himself, Thor. And sorry, the hammer the Hammurabic code of genetic law sees to that. Okay, sorry about that struggle with that word here. And here he presses a button, out comes some beam here. And you see this rocket escaping from the bike. My ears have heard that sound before, Peace, but this time the god of thunder is not unprepared. So you can see it coming toward him. So what's Thor gonna do? He smashes it with the hammer. And when Thor does not wish to be, he cannot be constrained. And then down here, you have 30 seconds to talk before I begin to break you into fragments. And the narrator here, Simonson, says, but as Justice Peace examines his limited options, let us turn elsewhere for a moment, to Asgard, home of the mighty Norse gods. And here we have Beta Ray Bill. And Lady Sif here is listening to him. Looks like all the warriors are there. My companions, duty calls, and Beta Ray Bill must return to his own people. The gift of your friendship, the gift of your open friendship, I will always remember and treasure. Lady Sif, I have no words left. And Sif says, you do not need them, Bill. We have said so much to each other already. But mine are the powers of space and time, and you shall never escape me, no matter how far you go in all the wild universe. So, nor would I wish to. A safe journey, Bill, says Volstaff. If ever you need any help, I will not forget. Farewell. And he uses his own hammer, Stormbreaker, and creates a portal. And you can see Sif all sad. So now we return to Earth here. And Peace says, my mission has failed, Thor. What happens now is a matter of indifference to me, but justices are notoriously difficult to kill. And Thor says, your courage does you honor. Why are you here? And Peace asks, are you a member of law enforcement organization of your time? And he says, I am an Avenger. Then maybe. Stand still a moment. Identify yourself and remember you're under oath. As he presses this thing and looks in there. I am Thor, son of Odin, god of thunder. The Avengers are my boon companions, he says. And so, the most dangerous god in the 9 worlds is my stepbrother, and the protection of mankind is my business. And Peace says, Iris distension and visual purple cross-check indicated 99.99 veracity probability. Looks like you're okay, citizen. My apologies for the misunderstanding earlier. And then he continues. But if I don't find and kill Zaniac in 24 hours, Bedlam's going to break loose. And Thor says, I begin to understand your realm is in the future, is it not? And Peace says, that's right. You're sharp, Thor. I'll give you that. My beat is Brooklynopolis, coast to coast. My outfit's the Federal Police Special Services here. And he continues here, and where I'm from, World War III has already started. The mayor of Brooklynopolis was concluding the ceremonies, linking the old Panama Canal with the Crater Lake in Patagonia when he got her. It was a diplomat from the Greater Tashkent Protectorate. Even a guy with one eye could see that. And the videos made sure everybody got a front row seat here. So, all right. Genetic encryptings at birth keeps ordinary crimes like murder to a minimum. It was quite a shock, and the political repercussions were like an avalanche. Before the department uh, could get it all sorted out, the missiles were on their way. After that, nothing else mattered too much. Not even the fact that Justice Mills spotted the killer. So, you can see here, nuclear Armageddon. Oh my goodness gracious. Fool, Zaniac lives forever. The pretties are mine. And executed him on the spot. But even though he turned out to be an empty shell, the killer wasn't as dead as we thought. So here they go. We did a lot of cross-checking after that, and it looks to us like the vermin carry the immortal part of the Zaniac with them. They escaped to infect yet another innocent citizen and turn him into a raving maniac. When that's accomplished, the rest vanish, and the Zaniac is still at large in the future. He said he lived forever. We think he wasn't lying. Sorry about that. Records are lousy from before the NSC in the interregnum of 1997. So keep in mind that this would be like at that time, like 10 years before that. So, but we've traced the patterns a long ways back. There are even stories surviving from old London in the late 19th centuries. We can't be sure. So Jack the Ripper here, apparently. But we had one specific time fix on him. This time, this place. The era where he picked his name. So special services talked to the TVA and Time Variance Authority didn't like it. The 20th century is full of unexplained time flux distortions, but it could be our world's only chance. So they agreed to send someone back to nail Zaniac once and for all. I'm him. My hopsicle was equipped to hold the temporal displacement charge. No one's ever gone this far back before, so I had to be sent along a best guess timeline. But it's risky. TVA screwed up real bad once and ruptured the time flux. Now there's a 15-year loop just after the turn of the century where nothing gets in, nothing gets out. That's why the safeguards were put in and why nobody rides the time flux anymore. The monitors watch like hawks to fold the flux around any other travelers and send them home. The longer I'm here, the greater the strain on continuity. So exactly 24 hours from my arrival, I get yanked out. You can see here all the TVA. And if Zaniac isn't dead by then, I could be going home to a cinder. And Thor says, he wasn't always called Zaniac. That was merely a name from a movie. That was in Thor 319, which we have not covered, or did not cover. So maybe he liked the handle. I don't know, says Peace. All I know is his handiwork, and if I don't stop him here, a lot of people are going to buy the farm. So Thor says, I know this woman. Ruby was her name. She was a gangster's woman a long time ago. Thug Thatcher, whom I once did capture. And if he's the new Zaniac, then I can guess what he wants. Jane Foster is in mortal peril. And so off panel, Mom, you okay? And they look around. Two life forms, low mass, carbon base, says Peace here. So of course it would be the kids here. We call them children, Peace. Hello, younglings. Uh, Mick, look, it's Thor. And kid's waking up. He's like, what? Oh, wow, Kevin, awesome. Are you mom's boyfriend? Says the kid. Say rather that I am a family friend. Now come, strapping young lads like you need a full night's sleep to be ready for the adventures of the next day. Are you kidding? I'll never be able to go to sleep now. Me either, he says. But you can't hardly keep your eyes open, can you, children? And he's using some kind of enchantment. Look at you, little sleepyheads who yearn to walk the fields of dreamland. This is my gift to you. Come, Justice, we are urgently needed elsewhere, and the boys will sleep soundly till morning now, where they'll find their dead mom. Haven't read these in a while, so. All right. So it now says here we're in Highland Park, north of Chicago. And so you can see that a storm is brewing and it's raining here. And we've got Jane Foster and her husband here. And she's knitting. Such a 50s thing to do. And he's reading the newspaper. That's awesome here. And so she's pregnant here. So I don't know whatever came about that, because I know that during Jason Aaron's run, I know that she had the cancer and stuff, but I just don't remember anything that came about that. So, and Thor and Peace, I'm gonna kind of move this along here. Thor and Peace are heading toward her, and you can see Thor lands here and opens the door and love it just to scream no. And Jane Foster appears dead. Of course, we know she's not dead. She ends up becoming Thor in Jason Aaron's run, but Thor is not very happy. Look at him just, and the storm's starting to get heavier as he goes through yelling no, no, no. Great panels here. And look at this. This is awesome with just the little no and the big. MP says, blast it, I'm sorry, Thor. I guess I blew it, he says. My time's just about up, and when the meter on the Hopsicle expires, I'm gone. And Thor says, what do you mean? Hopsicle here is a time anchor. It holds me in the past. It was given a temporal charge when I started, and as long as the charge lasts, Hopsicle and I can hang around. But when the charge runs out, it'll pull me back to the future, to who knows what. And Thor says, but this is the very answer to our problem. We have to go back in time and catch Thatcher before he and Zaniac become one. So, nice try, Thor, but it doesn't work that way. Hopsicle was energized for a trip by the TVA, but they're a long way in the future. There's no way we're collecting a charge from a local dispensary, and TVA won't try it again. The danger of breaking temporal containment and creating another closed loop is too great. We're stuck. And Thor says, perhaps not. Once the hammer of Thor could move through time. And the editor says, but that was a long time ago. Though that power has been removed from the hammer, 'tis barely possible that some part of the enchantment may yet remain in the hammer. I'm able to recharge thy vehicle. MP says, maybe so, but if you're wrong, we could end up in the time stasis or worse. And Thor says, for the life of Jane Foster, for the life of your world, is it not a chance worth taking? And P says, I begin to see why the flux of your time is so distorted. TVA isn't going to like this, but we have no choice. Switches on, Thor, it's up to you. And so off he goes, and you can see him charging the bike. And look at this. And Peace is like, it's taking the charge. It's powering up. Thor, grab hold on the double. And so Hopsicle's original charge just ran out. We've got to make the jump now or never. So off they go. And so they're here. Nothing has changed. We still stand outside Jane Foster's home. Though you did not return to the future, we remain in the same place and time. The last hope has failed. Yeah, then take a look at that. But notice it's not raining, so It's getting dark, but it's only dusk, and the ground here isn't torn up. That door to Jane's house is closed. We did it, says Peace. We've gone back at least a couple hours. There's still time to nail Zaniac before he vanishes again. And Jane is yet alive. We must reach Thatcher in time to prevent these tragedies. By the power of enchanted Mjolnir, I shall create a space warp to take us directly to Ruby's home. What about all the messes? Thor's still there in this time frame. So, 'tis done. Behold, it's Thatcher. And here they go. All these things. They're still coming. Help, help. So, Zaniac must already be dead, and his evil avatar seeks new bodies. Let the lightning of Thor cleanse the earth of their foul presence. Take care of Thatcher, Thor. I've got the incendiaries to handle the vermin. This is the job I came to do. So you can see them here. And this guy's like, Jesus got me. Kellen, get it off. And Thor uses his powers here and destroys this one here. Peace. All dead. At least I think so. I guess I'll find out when I get home. Thatcher? I slew the creature before it could infect him, but his heart could not withstand his fear. He too is dead. We better get out of here. I'm going to be showing up a couple of minutes late. There's something to be done first. Did you not see Thatcher lying in the street when you arrived? And we should be careful. And so they put him in the bench with the newspaper to cover him up. Now when he is found in the morning, he will just be one more derelict who failed to survive the night. Rest in peace, Doug. And Peace is like, don't waste any tears on him, Thor. He chose his death. Let's go. So it says here, at that moment, Chicago at last, but I am too late. The two tiny figures vanish unnoticed in the gathering gloom. Looks like the rain's stopping with the dawn, Thor. I'll be heading back home any second. Thanks for your help. And Thor says, it was my pleasure, but you might remember in the future that my sorrows is not for Thatcher's death, but for the waste of life. Doesn't sound like the Hammurabi. I know it's based on Hammurabi, who was, I think, king of Babylon. But Hammurabiac genetic code to me, citizen, but I'll keep it in mind. And so he disappears. Now the dawn has come, and there is no danger that I might meet myself. 'Tis time I checked the results of this night's work. You know, that's what happens. So it's now a loop. So, all right. And so Jane and husband, I take it, are cooking here. And Thor thinks here, the sun has risen indeed, and I'm content to be happy, Jane. Now I have one more task to complete. So we're in Asgard now. And so Baldur's going to speak here. The time has come to finish the healing of hurts, my friends. I have asked Heimdall to take charge of the great sword of Surtur. And we have covered that. Again, I have a playlist here. We shall set the workmen to it in the heart of the city, building a sheath worthy of that great blade, and we shall guard it so that never again shall it be used as a weapon until the ending of days. I have also asked, and then you can see Thor appearing. Thor, welcome. We did not look to see you return to Asgard so soon. Who are your companions? And he says, 2 orphans, Baldur. Their mother was slain, and though I have dealt with the assassin, these children are now alone in Midgard without kith or kin. And it happened because many years ago her path crossed mine. And so Volstagg said, then these children shall want for nothing ever again. Give them to me. They shall sit at my table and eat my bread and be the sons of Volstagg and Gudrun. So that would be his wife. So be it, says Baldur. The blessings of Baldur's, all of Asgard, go with you, little warriors. They're still asleep, and Volstagg takes them. And so now we are in Hela's kingdom. And so you can see these kind of zombies here. And Hela says, "Come closer, you ancient cadavers, and stand before your mistress. I shall draw the magic from your very bones, and it shall be my present to Thor." And so you can see that she waves her hand, and the zombies kind of become nothing. "He will regret that he ever set foot in hell." And she throws that beam. But what happens? We'll have to find out next issue. The Gift of Death. And so there is a pin-up here. And who drew it? Sal Buscema. So, clean-shaven Thor. Pretty cool with Odin there. Nice. Thor 372. Walter Simonson and Sal Buscema. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Hope you're enjoying these stores. We got maybe 15 issues left of Simonson's run. Goodbye.